I've opened up my heart. I'm at the start. I save the world. I save the world.
So thank you everybody for joining us.
I save the world.
Happy to have you here. Of course, now happy to have all of you who are listening to this video through one of our many platforms. BitChute seems to be our most popular platform, with our videos getting many hundreds of views on BitChute. So really happy about that. We also post them on YouTube and Rumble, and recently I've started posting the entire video on Twitter. So, now it's called X. Okay. However you call it. So, so many opportunities and way to listen to my videos and the videos of Community Miracle Center. So make sure you subscribe to whatever platform you're listening to this, watching this on. And please consider joining the Community Miracle Center, becoming a member of the healing team, having that daily connection and that daily practice. Email us, and I will start a conversation with you about becoming a member and joining the healing team. Okay. I recently got back from a trip to upstate New York. And upstate New York is where I'm from originally. I live in San Francisco now, so that's on the other side of the country. It takes about 11 or 12 hours to get there door to door. I spent 5 days with my sisters, Sara and Angelia. Sara's here today. So I stayed at Sara's house. And I went back east to visit my sisters. I also went back to attend my high school reunion. Always an interesting thing to do. And I also went back to tour and participate in these 3 homes and 4 rental units that my sister Sara and I managed together. And accomplished all those things. And right now I just want to express some gratitude for the trip, and just grateful for the miracle of affordable air travel that allows me to heal the illusion of separation and feel that, I have a life on the East Coast as well. I don't spend as much time there, but between my visits there and my business there and my high school class there and my sisters there and Zoom occasionally, I feel like I am there in many ways. Course in Miracles talks about relationships existing at different levels. This is a teaching from the Teacher's Manual. And it says that there's a third level of relationship. And a third level of relationship is relationships that are lifelong. And I certainly can say that my relationships with my biological sisters, Sara and Angelia, are lifelong relationships. The Course says this: the third level of teaching occurs in relationships which, once they are formed, are lifelong. These are teaching, learning situations in which each person is given a chosen learning partner who presents him with unlimited opportunities for learning. So that's what I can say about my sisters. They present me with unlimited opportunities for learning. And it was just great to spend time with them and to think about, all the many years and all the things that we've done. And this family business that my sister Sara and I are in, with owning these homes and renting them, and the challenges that presents, it's great. I also took my sisters to see that movie that I talked about, The Sound of Freedom. It's been my guidance to, get some more people to go see that movie. I think it's an important movie with an important healing message. Tomorrow night, actually, I'm going to see The Sound of Freedom with my apartment mate, Reverend Peter. So I think there's an important healing message in that film. I think it's been dedicated to healing, and maybe not the way I would heal, or it's not my healing message, but I want to support endeavors by people who are definitely dedicated to healing something. So happy to go to that film with my sisters, and I'm happy to be going with Reverend Peter. Actually, anybody locally in San Francisco that wants somebody to go to see The Sound of Freedom with, call me up. I'll go again. I think it's a good thing to support. As I said, I also went to my high school reunion, and those are third level relationships too. I'm from a small town. People I went to high school with were also many of the same people I went to grade school with, K through 12. So, I've known a lot of those people for more than 6 decades. And it's great. The experience of going to my high school reunion is different. For one, I don't seem to have a lot in common with a lot of the people I went to high school with, graduated high school with. Maybe they all have that experience. Maybe they all feel that they don't have a lot in common with the people there at the reunion. I don't know. But a lot of them still live in the area, and a lot of them know each other more than I know them because they've had more opportunities to see each other and be together than I have. But also, I didn't have a very positive experience of going to high school. And, when I first left Canastota and came to, at first I lived in Ithaca, New York, and then I went to San Francisco. I didn't attend my high school reunions. I don't think they had a 5th, but I know they had a 10th reunion. I didn't attend it. I had no desire to. And I know that they had a 15th reunion, and I didn't attend that. I think the first one I attended was the 20th reunion, and I was already into A Course in Miracles at that time. So it was A Course in Miracles that really got me the idea that I needed to work on healing those relationships that I didn't feel good about that I had with people I went to school with. So I think I went back to my 20th, and now I've tried to go to everyone that they have. And lately, they're having the reunions every single year. One of the reasons we're having the reunions every single year, I'm from a graduating class of 144 people, and already 32 of them have made their bodily transition. They have passed away. And the local people, my local classmates who organize these things, they do a great job of organizing them, are just really willing to organize it because they know that, in worldly terms, we don't know how many more of these we actually can have with a lot of people, because it seems like every year we lose 4 or 5 more people. And one of the things we do at the reunions is we have pictures of all the people that have passed, and their names are read, and a bell is rung, and we remember them and bring their energy to us. And I love that. And, I connect with this idea of keeping these relationships current in many ways, even though I don't have a lot in common with a lot of them. It's just really great to be in their presence and think about all the years that we have known each other. And now through Facebook and through a Facebook group that my class has, I'm getting to know them new, and I'm getting new relationships with them that are current and vivid and alive and very healing. So it's very healing for me to go there. Course in Miracles tells us your brothers are everywhere. You do not have to seek far for salvation. Every minute and every second gives you a chance to save yourself. And I sit in that energy when I go to these reunions. I sit in the energy of knowing that my brothers and sisters are right there amongst me. And they're no different than other brothers and sisters, but they are this third level of relationship, people that I have known for my entire life. Course in Miracles also tells us every situation properly perceived becomes an opportunity to heal the Son of God. So I just perceive that situation properly and know that we're there to heal. I mean, I've certainly healed my thoughts and feelings about my childhood and my high school education and, the things that I didn't feel good about that. And I'm sure it's very healing for others. And we can just sit there in each other's presence and everybody just is so happy to just be sitting in each other's presence. In 2021, I showed up for the first time with a priest collar. I didn't know how that would be. Accepted, but they just accepted it just fine. Nobody questioned it at all, and they know I'm a minister, and they know I have this church, and they honor me by always having me lead the opening prayer or the prayer before we the grace before we have our meal. And it's just a great time, and I really feel blessed that they honor me, and then they come up and thank me for the prayer and say something. And a couple people actually follow me on Facebook, and so they're a little more aware of my teaching, and they'll make a few comments about that. I love to be there. And as I said, I don't share a lot in common with a lot of these people. One of the people that I really like at my high school reunion, and his name is Doug, and he's one of the organizers. I didn't know him much at all when I was in high school. I just knew of him a little bit, but I don't think I ever really did anything with him, he was around, but I don't really remember. But I've gotten to know him more through these reunions. And as I said, I don't have a lot in common with a lot of these people. Doug is a great guy. He's got a great energy. And I just see him. I just feel how loving he is, and how much he puts into having these reunions where we're all there and we're all healing. And what I know about Doug is he's a big game hunter. Doug is a big game hunter. And he not only hunts deer, he hunts big bear, and he hunts moose. And I had a conversation with him this year, last week, where he talked about moose hunting trips he takes to Canada. And I just thought, if you shoot a moose and kill a moose in Canada, how do you get the moose back to the United States? And he was really impressed that I thought of that. And he goes, you have to process the meat from the moose in Canada, because you can't bring back a dead moose. He goes, but you can bring back a processed product that's produced in Canada. And he goes, and if you want to bring back the head and have it mounted, you've got to have a taxidermist mount it in Canada. And then you can bring back the mounted moose head. And he's talked to me about, the meats that he gets from these animals. And, this is not my thing. I'm not a hunter. I'm not into guns. Yeah, he also talked to me about how difficult it is and how much, red tape you have to go through to bring your firearms into Canada across the border, and, and all of that. It was just like, I was just sitting there in his energy and just seeing how much he just loved hunting. And he also talked about how it was a real bonding thing for him and his son and his brothers. And it was a real kind of man's thing that he did with his brothers. And I also thought about how, in San Francisco, that might be frowned upon. We might have to find a woman to go hunting with us so that we don't just reinforce these male stereotypes. But I was really happy just to hang out there and listen to Doug talk about big game hunting and how he was looking forward this year to go hunting wild boar somewhere in the South. He's never hunted, wild hogs before. So God bless him. God bless Doug and his hunting and his love of game meat and his love of his son and his brothers and these very traditionally male things and male bonding things that he is doing. And just to sit in the energy with that. I remember my apartment mate, he's here today, Reverend Peter, if he's still on the call, talked about how he went back to a reunion some years ago, and it was a high school football reunion. He played football when he was in high school, and when he was in college, I believe. Yeah. But he was going back to his high school reunion, and he hadn't been out as a gay man to his high school football mates. And he was going to, come out if they didn't already know. And he had a little apprehension about that, but what he found was everybody was just so happy to be together that it didn't really matter at all. They didn't seem to react to it. They just accepted it, and they were just so happy to see him. Didn't matter. And I feel that way. I behold that. The title of today's talk is Behold. I behold the miracle of acceptance that happens at events like this. And it's an acceptance that I didn't feel I had when I was going to high school. And that's why I really love going to these high school reunions, because now everybody is just accepting everybody else, and everybody is just so happy to be there with everybody else. And they get great food. There's a lot of Italian people in my hometown, so it's like a big Italian feast with baked ziti with a really heavy meat tomato sauce, all with mozzarella cheese melted all over it, and Italian sausages with peppers and onions, and bowls of green salad that had pepperoni and cheese in it. Obviously, they weren't catering to the vegetarians at all, which I thought was kind of interesting too. Nobody seemed to care that meat and cheese was all over the place. And yeah, I just saw that, and I was impressed by that. It was an impressive experience. It was noteworthy, and I behold it. I behold the healing that it was for me and for everybody there, I believe, that everybody just really willing to be in each other's presence and just extend acceptance and love. And it was third-level relationships at their best. Behold is a very interesting word. The definition of behold is to see or observe a thing or person, especially a remarkable or an impressive one. So behold is, you're going to notice something, but it specifically means that you're going to behold something that's impressive or remarkable. It might always not be impressively good or remarkably good. Sometimes you're beholding something that's remarkably not good. But it's kind of a command to pay attention. Pay attention. So I was beholding all the healing that was happening on my trip. And I behold the healing that happens in my life all the time. It's impressive. It's remarkable. I behold the healing that happens right here at Community Miracle Center. I behold the gatherings that we have, like this Sunday gathering, and just how great the talks are. I make a lot of them, but how great the ones that Reverend Peter and Reverend Vincent make are, how great the shares are, how great the energy is. It's remarkable. It's impressive that we do what we do and that we have done it for 36 plus years. I think a couple weeks ago when Reverend Peter spoke, he said that he didn't always agree with everything that was said at the Sunday gathering, which must have meant that he didn't agree with me since I'm the most prominent speaker. But anyway, he didn't always agree with everything that happened at the Sunday gathering, but he agreed with the energy, but just the energy with which we gather, that he connects with. That was really more important than the specific words that were said. And, that is absolutely true. You don't have to agree with everything I say or Peter says or Vincent says or whomever else is sharing. A lot of people may say things you don't agree with, but you can behold how great the acceptance is of everyone. The love is that we feel towards each other. The love is that we share with each other, and that is something really remarkable and impressive to behold. The word behold appears 157 times in A Course in Miracles. That's quite a bit. And it's always just that. It's like calling our attention to something that's remarkable and impressive. The word behold actually appears 1,500 times in the Bible. I mean, it's a very common word in the Bible. I was reading something by a Christian writer. He was publishing in a journal called Premier Christianity, which is a Christian journal from the United Kingdom. His name is Chris Llewellyn, and he said this about behold and all of its occurrences in the Bible. He said, behold means look, open your eyes, or pay attention. I've started to notice how it's so often paired with an exclamation point, the grammatical equivalent of a slap on the face. It's not a gentle request, it's a command. When God uses it, he's grabbing us by the collar, urging us to notice something incredible that we're ignoring. Behold, notice something. There's an important thing here. Wants you to notice it. That's how it's used in the Bible. That's how it's used in A Course in Miracles. And, that's how we need to approach the world a lot, too. Behold, something important is happening. The reason why I am taking people to go see the movie The Sound of Freedom, because I think it's an important healing that's happening. It's bringing attention to an issue that's really important. I think we should behold this movie. As I said, I'm going to go see it with my apartment mate, Reverend Peter, tomorrow evening. It's, behold, it's kind of a slap in the face. Wake up. Wake up and take notice here. It's interesting that there's this movement to discredit the film. And considering it's based on a true story by of the life of a man who rescues kidnapped children, who has testified in front of government Senate, I believe, it might have been House of Representatives committees, and is still involved in rescuing children. Considering it's based on a true story, and he's going around with the film, it's odd that there is this movement to discredit it. Why would there be a movement that would bring people's attention to the whole issue of child sex trafficking? I'm not going to get into that, but that's a question that y'all might ask yourselves. Who would have something to gain by not having people focus their energy or their attention on child sex trafficking? Anyway, if you want to go see the movie Sound of Freedom and you don't feel like you have the money, as I said, if you go to their production company's website, angel.com, you can get a free ticket because people have paid it forward. People have bought tickets and they're sitting in a bank for other people to go. And I haven't participated in that program, but I'm participating in bringing people and going with them and buying their tickets. So that's how I'm participating. And I think it is a big behold. And it's a really good movie. Okay, behold, it's all over in A Course in Miracles. I could have just talked with Course in Miracles quotes, but here's one. Let me behold the Son of God today and witness to his glory. Let me not try to obscure the holy light in him and see his strength diminished and reduced to frailty, nor perceive the lacks in him with which I would attack his sovereignty. He is your Son, my Father, and today I would behold his gentleness instead of my illusions. He is what I am, and as I see him, so I see myself. Today I would see truly, that this day I may at last identify with him. And we are to behold the Christ in all our sisters and brothers. We're to behold the divinity and the love and the gentleness that is in everybody. And that's how we then strengthen the awareness of those characteristics in ourselves. We're never going to behold those things in ourselves unless we first behold them within our sisters and brothers. So my classmate, Doug, the hunter, I behold him as remarkable and impressive. It's remarkable and impressive that he's the chief organizer of these reunions, and he's not a person that I share a lot of things in common with. He kills animals. He eats meat. He loves his firearms. He loves to do manly things with men. I might judge him. Society might judge him for a lot of these things. Couldn't he find a woman to go on one of these hunting trips with? I mean, isn't that what DEI is all about? Diversity, equity, and inclusion. He should be finding a sister or someone. There must be big game hunters who are women, right? Okay, I let that all go. God bless him. He's got a great energy. Then I behold that energy. And I behold, men wanting to do manly things with other men too. That's fine. I'm not going to judge it. I like Doug. He's got a great energy, and he's making it possible for me and many others in my class to heal all of that and to really have healed third level relationships. I behold the Christ in Doug. Course in Miracles also says this: Behold the Son of God, and look upon his purity, and be still. In quiet, look upon his holiness, and offer thanks unto his Father that no guilt has ever touched him. We're to behold the Son of God in all our sisters and brothers, not count up their mistakes. One more, behold quote from A Course in Miracles. Behold, my children, reality is here. It belongs to you and me and God and is perfectly satisfying to all of us. Only this awareness heals, because it is the awareness of truth. We're supposed to behold reality even here in this world. We are getting glimpses of it all the time. I got glimpses of it when I was back east, spending time with my sisters, touring the homes that I own with Sara, going to my reunion, talking to these people, sharing these lifelong third level relationships with them. I behold that. And I behold the third level relationships that we have here. Some of you I've had relationships with for 3 decades or more. And here we are, studying A Course in Miracles together. And I behold what a wonderful thing it is for us to gather in this way. Not because we agree with all the details and all the things that were said, but because energetically the love and the acceptance and the miracles are there. We are the children of God. We are glorious. We are remarkable and impressive. Behold. That's my talk for today. Thank you very much.
Open my eyes to see. Woke up my head to beat. Woke up my heart to be free. Woke up our world with you and me. I've opened up my heart. I'm at the start. I save the world. I save the world. I save the world. I save